Here's the Marvel Legends Spider-Man 2099 from back in 2015. And 6 years later, boom! They gave us another same exact Spider-Man 2099. Well, there are some differences, but they could have just gone with the Retro Spidey body mold or the all new all different Spider-Man 2099 body mold. Here's the front of the packaging. And here's the back. The packaging really looks awesome, just like the rest of the Spider-Man Retro Wave figures. Maybe they could have included the fiery X that came with the Toy Biz Spider-Man 2099. Lol. Let's get the figure out. The figure comes with a pair of wall-crawling hands, clawed hands, and also a pair of fists. And one thing different about all the hands is that it has a red pack, unlike the previous version, which has a blue pack instead. So, for the previous version, the top part is painted red and there will always be paint rubs. There. And for that first difference, the pack being red in color, I guess it is a good thing because the outer part is more obvious, so having it in red is actually a good thing. You can see the red on the inner side of the pack, but I think most of the time it is hidden, so it is okay. At the very least, there won't be any problem of paint rub on the outer side, which is more obviously seen. One thing about the clawed hands as well is that for the new 2099, the claws are slightly longer. I kind of prefer the previous version whereby the claws are normal sized, but yeah, this is still decent looking, of course. But just a matter of preference, I prefer the previous version. The long sharp fingers are also actually comic accurate. Next difference is the paintwork. The previous version has kind of a shiny blue to it, but the newer one has more of a matte blue, almost to the point of purple-ish. Both the paintwork still looks okay, but for me personally, I prefer the shinier version. Yeah man, these figures always look more awesome when they are shiny. Third is the design of the spider logo. This newer 2099 has the spider design, which is almost exactly the same as his recent appearance in the comic, as seen over here. I feel that his previous version follows more to his 90s appearance. You can see that these red lines are really similar to this comic cover. And of course, the logo on the new Spidey 2099 is slightly smaller compared to the previous version. For me, I'm kind of indifferent. I like both of the design. What about you guys? Share it in the comments below. A minor difference on the hands is the triangle on the newer figure is slightly bigger than the smaller one. Again, this is something that is kind of insignificant, but yeah, it's there. For the cape, they have the same exact sculpt, but the newer one is more translucent compared to the previous one. The number at the back of the thighs is printed at a slightly different location, and the same thing is embossed on both feet, although the newer one has them in bigger fonts. One thing about the figure right out of packaging is the very tight swivel joint. It really feels kind of stuck, and what I did was I tried to kind of bend it outwards and also inwards to try to get this kind of unstuck because they seem to be kind of sticking to each other, and then I just forced the swivel. So yeah, you need to be very careful. You can see over here, this new 2099 that someone actually had the hip totally break apart. So I guess this is one quality issue that is really down to our luck if we were to buy it brand new in packaging. Lucky for me, mine, both of them are extremely tight, but they didn't break. One thing about the previous Spider-Man 2099 figure is that there is always this plastic defect over here at the top of the head. And it is a consistent thing for all of my Spidey 2099. There. The new head, however, is totally good. Look at that. Articulation is able to look up this high, down, and all around. Hands able to go up this high to the side. Bicep swivel joint, double hinge elbow joint, hinge and swivel wrist. The ab crunch is only able to bend forward this much. The previous 2099 is able to bend forward more. However, the new 2099 is able to bend back more, but there would be a gap at the front that would be exposed. The old 2099 is not able to bend back as much as the new one. Waist swivel. The new figure is able to do a slightly wider split compared to the previous version. And here's the articulation of the legs. Double hinged knee joint, thigh swivel, hinge joint and ankle pivot. As you guys know, the Pizza Spidey body mold doesn't have the calf swivel joint. So articulation wise, it's very similar to the previous version. So what do you guys think of this new Spidey 2099? For me, I think it's more for those who actually missed out on the first version, and it's really a good thing to be able to get it at retail price because the previous version definitely shot up in the pricing in the aftermarket. I think all of us definitely wish that Hasbro has done it on a different body mold though, preferably on the Retro Spidey body. But I guess we'll just have to take what they give. At the very least, the figure comes with different pairs of hands. But if you're the sort who doesn't really care about these alternate hands and you already have the previous version, I think you can skip this new 2099. Thanks for watching. Do check out how to differentiate between the authentic and the bootleg version of the earlier 2099 in this video over here.